your fames. I hope we got 4,400 likes. I jumped a few times.
Bro, I cannot believe. Alright, so hey, if you're new on this stream, when I first started it, I was extremely upset because I spent hundreds of dollars at Best Buy earlier today getting hotspot. I got 2 hotspot boxes. I set them up. It took me like an hour. I got one with Verizon, one with T-Mobile. Now I have T-Mobile. Don't get me wrong, and it works really good. The Verizon one I was excited about though because it was supposed to be really fast, especially like in rural areas and stuff. Well, right before the live stream, I go to like open it up and click to link up with my phone, and it wasn't working, and it worked just fine with my laptop at home.
I'm not happy. Let me just tell you.
It was frustrating, and that's why I started, because this live stream was supposed to start at 10:30 Eastern Standard Time, and ended up starting like I think 10-15 minutes later.
Love you, brother. Love you too, my baby little whore, daddy, sister. No baby younger.
I know
why, daddy.
That I put out. I mean, I cut out anything that had to do with like blood, death, guns, because it was a cold case happened in upstate New York, well, Western New York, where I used to live some years ago, and I did purchase some real estate up there, very, very cheap. So I wanted to be able to go up there, which I'm going to be going up there like in the summertime, and spending some time up there doing some editing and stuff. But as I was up there, I remembered a case that I had heard about. Where do I make a right or left? Left. Okay. But I heard about a case of a Jane Doe. There's a lot of you that missed this video. It's amazing. But
no joint.
Yeah, let's go see what he's doing.
Yeah.
Because that's kind of like right where it was.
But you know what? We looking real sketch.
We do.
We looking real sketch. All right. I'm gonna drive around here too, because we might find something. Hey, if we turn around and we like see that dude again that I just saw, because he looks like he was just standing there looking all weird. You should ask him and be like, are you the devil's worst nightmare?
Let me know when we get there. Bro, what if he has a story or something?
Oh, dude, that would be awesome.
It's getting worse and worse when we go this way.
We're like,
we're at 2 bars right here. We need to turn around.
Okay. Alright,
So
so
no
that
joint.
church is right around this corner.
As far as I'm concerned, this was a dub, bro. Like, Devil's Worst Nightmare, and it brings us.
No, that was amazing.
That was me.
You better.
I think the last 2 have been good.
I'm kind of lost. I really lost all sense of
Love you,
direction.
daddy, brother. Love you too.
Oh wait, there's a church.
Hey, sister.
Let me see where the church is.
There's a car following us. Yeah.
Alright, it says where. Go ahead, go this way. Yeah. But
You know where I could get some Weedle? You know where I can find a Weedle?
you know I get that weed, the Weedle?
No, Weedle.
Yeah, Pokemon Go.
Yeah. Wait.
That Bassmaster right here.
Yeah. All right.
Right on the street.
Okay. Damn, bro. We
Right on the
we looking super sus.
Alright, right here. Alright, now the guy was up here on the right. Alright, turn it down.
All right. I'm gonna turn the lights on.
Wait, what? Oh yeah.
Cause we look even more sus with the lights on. I'm telling you, there was a dude like just chilling on the side of the road, like just looking all
That's weird for this time of night too. Wait, there's people at the church too.
Yeah, bro, at midnight.
Oh, we should have talked to them
What-
and asked
what
them
kinda-
if that was worse nightmare. We should have asked them. Were they outside?
Yeah.
Oh, let's go back and through there. Let's
All
ask them.
You asked.
I will ask.
Oh look, they're right here again. The dude was standing right here. Look. They running for their car. Go ahead. Ask him. Ask him.
Hey, do you guys know like what the devil's worst nightmare is? The devil's worst nightmare.
Most likely God. Most likely God.
He just. What did they do? Like, get in the car!
Put it in the car!
Most likely God.
Yeah, dude.
So I guess this.
Because he's more powerful than the devil. He created everything. Even though I hate God, he's the most powerful being in the world.
I didn't say what's the devil like. Said what the devil likes, then I would have been freaked out. I would have got the hell out of here.
God is the devil
Bro,
and the
they're probably gonna call
demon's
us out.
worst nightmare.
I find that really weird.
That is weird.
It's
bro.
like, why are you hanging out? I mean, not that it's weird. Maybe they're cleaning the church or something. You know what I mean? But like,
Yeah.
but they were outside. They were outside.
God is the worst nightmare of
I feel
the
bad. I
devil.
feel bad 'cause- oh, gosh. All right, where are we going now? I feel really bad that we creeped those girls. They were probably.
What you got out of there?
They did the right thing. All right. If you see guys in a truck coming up and they're like trying to talk to you, like, you know, get the hell out of there. You know, I mean, we could have been like some stone cold killers. We're not, but.
William asked, have you ever had a ghost use your energy?
Like possession?
There's a same energy. So like, I kind of know what he's saying. Like, you definitely can, especially demonic spirits can.
Yeah.
Like, and I don't ever suggest going to a place that has bad spirits if your energy isn't very high. Like if you're depressed or like you've been down or stressed out or you have bad anxiety, don't do that because they will feed off your energy.
Like I've been drained before. Like you know how you feel drained when you go somewhere like.
I feel they attack.
What about if you wanna die? What about then? What about if you're too afraid to take your own life? You want someone to do it for
It's
you.
a little kitty. A little kitty.
Yeah, Denise, you're technically right.
So what about Danny dog?
Oh, look at the little kitty.
Then is it okay or
Deer in the headlights
not?
right now. Like, he's really cute.
Alright, maddening music. I will do that for my region.
Wait,
Thank you for the $70 super chat. He said,
he's not there.
maddening
Happy
music,
brother.
attention,
Love you to my baby horse, daddy sister. And I am. Yep.
You're
No,
got
it's
10
daddy
moments
Ancha.
before, like, your live stream.
Yes, daddy brother.
We're gonna love that name.
Alright, let's think of the next one, bro. Let's
Okay.
do one more.
So what's the next one?
We haven't decided. Let them decide.
Let's have a joint.
I mean, I don't know. Let's think of. Give us some idea for the chat.
We're like by the water.
What's the last one we should do here before we switch over?
Okay, we need a really good last intention. So let me know here in the comments. And yo, Solita, thank you again. Oh my God, you rock, fam. Thank you. That's so creepy.
Got missing person.
Praise Jesus. I love that.
First object. Hidden
Told you.
entrances. Mystery object.
Portal. Alright, portal, hidden entrances. I guess those are kind of the same. And mine is. It was good too.
Remind us when it's going to be it's working. I just haven't started it yet. Glitch, portal.
Yeah, portal. We'll definitely do portal.
Entrance. Oh, wasn't it like,
No, it's
guys?
yeah, help me out. Cult. It was cult. Okay. It's cult. Alright, thank you so much for refreshing my memory here. Okay, so out of those three, cult.
This is a takeover. Wall Street and the ASX now at our fingertips with this right here.
Let's watch this now.
It's about time I read a poster of this mother.
Back rooms of Invisible Davis Studio. Why not?
The content within this video is not suitable for children. Viewer discretion is advised. How are you taking me even?
Shit.
Viewer discretion is
There
advised.
we are.
How are you taking me even? Spot. Dude, use your phone. Now, there's the phone. Okay. Why should I join you guys? Especially basic stuff. Crime. Death. Homes. Beyond.
Just so you're aware, I'm not gonna forget about it. Don't say anything.
Bloody birds. I know.
Wake up. Don't say anything. I don't want to wake everybody else up. You know those two people you killed? I really liked one of them. He really liked me too. I understand you did it as self-defense. And I get that we're all supposed to die down here. It isn't going to be beneficial to you to last much longer.
Okay. Okay. I got it.
Good. I couldn't have woken you up and just have killed you. A bit more.
We can bounce back from that, humans. Evidently.
So join.
We're doing lists now. We're like, hey, subscribe, hit that thumbs up. I mean, sure, we lost some dinosaurs along the way, but millions of years later, we're here, we're popping. But when it comes to gamma rays hitting the planet, yeah, we're not so lucky at that point. We can't bounce back from that one. If a gamma ray happened any time in our past, be it millions of years ago, we still wouldn't be here. Gamma rays happen when stars explode in distant galaxies. See, light and energy then shoots out along with gamma rays, radio waves, neutrinos, just a cosmic cosmo, all that good space stuff just shook up and then blasted at you. But then these gamma rays would travel light years through space, and if they were to hit Earth, our ozone layer would be toast, just gone forever, just like that. We would be engulfed in chemical smog forever. No bouncing back from that at any point. Or if we did bounce back from it, we'd be lizards or something, you know? We'd be lizard people. Walking around, a bunch of licky dudes, just breathing on people. That'd be okay. Number 3, supernova. For this next one, we'll be looking at Beetlejuice. And no, I don't mean Michael Keaton, although he's pretty scary. I don't want to say it 3 times. I'm keeping count just to be safe. I'm talking about the red giant located in the Orion constellation. It began to dim back in 2019, which is not a great sign. Its decay would be quite noticeable here on Earth. For example, the last time a star went supernova and we were able to observe it, the last time was 1604, and that was the Kepler star. It was beautiful and bright for weeks. Even during the day, we could still see it. All day long, people are like, that's gotta be pretty annoying, huh? Can't wait for that one. But when Beetlejuice finally dims out of existence, you have to wonder if we're far enough to be safe. Which sunscreen is good for solar flares? You know what I'm talking about? Like, I freckle up as is. I'm screwed if this happens. Scientists agree that we need to be much closer for the radiation to actually cause harm, but scientists also tell us quite often about these wandering stars and how black holes will just appear out of nowhere. So, who really knows? Beetlejuice. Number 2, the sun. While it's not recommended we stare at it, the sun is pretty beautiful. Living in Canada, we're just now seeing it maybe a little bit, just a tad, fingers crossed. No, not really at all, I guess. It's a terrible idea to look at the sun, especially through a telescope, so we don't recommend that at all. Thankfully, we have photographer Andrew McCarthy to help out. Andrew layered together 150,000 different photos of the sun to create this 300 megapixel image for us to safely look at. I opened this photo on my phone, and my phone literally got hot. I was like, wow, this is a great photo. I can actually feel it. It's so nice. Next time you're outside and it's hot, just remember that this scary thing is floating above you. Think of that next time you're getting your tail lines. In order to not go blind or, light any fires in his home, Andrew required a special telescope with numerous filters. So if you're thinking of pointing your phone or telescope at the sun today, just don't do that. It's like the magnifying glass trick with the sun. Yeah, just fires 101. It's all bad. Don't even try. And finally, number 1, James Webb. Our boy James Webb. What's he doing? What's he up to right now? Let's always check out on him. I told you I'd be back with more. While we patiently wait for James Webb to look deeper into our cosmos, I figured I'd leave you on a fun one. Also kind of scary though. Both the James Webb Space Telescope and the European Space Agency's Gaia spacecraft both orbit the Earth and the Sun's Lagrange point 2. So they both drift in between the two space giants, and on February 18th, a month ago, literally, like this was so recent, Gaia actually managed to get an image of James Webb, just hanging out. Now look, I thought deep sea photos were hard to look at and scary. This is another level. This is scary. Check it out. Around 930,000 miles away, James Webb just sits there and floats. And he waits to take photos of life and just anything. Just a little photographer just floating out there. Very little reflected sunlight came Gaia's way, and Webb, there are 150,000 different photos of the sun to create this 300 megapixel image for us to safely look at. I opened this photo on my phone, and my phone literally got hot. I was like, wow, this is a great photo. I can actually feel it. It's so nice. Next time you're outside and it's hot, just remember that this scary thing is floating above you. Think of that next time you're getting your tail lines. In order to not go blind or, light any fires in his home, Andrew required a special telescope with numerous filters. So if you're thinking of pointing your phone or telescope at the sun today, just don't do that. It's like the magnifying glass trick with the sun. Yeah, just fires 101. It's all bad. Don't even try. And finally, number 1, James Webb. Our boy James Webb. What's he doing? What's he up to right now? Let's always check out on him. I told you I'd be back with more. While we patiently wait for James Webb to look deeper into our cosmos, I figured I'd leave you on a fun one. Also kind of scary though. Both the James Webb Space Telescope and the European Space Agency's Gaia spacecraft both orbit the Earth and the Sun's Lagrange point 2. So they both drift in between the two space giants, and on February 18th, a month ago, literally, like this was so recent, Gaia actually managed to get an image of James Webb, just hanging out. Now look, I thought deep sea photos were hard to look at and scary. This is another level. This is scary. Check it out. Around 930,000 miles away, James Webb just sits there and floats. And he waits to take photos of life and just anything. Just a little photographer just floating out there. Very little reflected sunlight came Gaia's way, and Webb therefore appears as a tiny faint speck of light in Gaia's two telescopes without any details visible. That's the official statement on finding James Webb. They're like, well, it was right there. We saw it. It was just little. This spacecraft also isn't meant to be a telescope, in case you're wondering. It has a sky mapper on board, but the Gaia is originally meant to track celestial objects' positions and distances. All that, technical jargon. Imagine James Webb taking a photo back. It would be so HD. It's like 8K. It's like turn around. What?
Starting off this list, in our number 10 spot, we have the after photo. Many of us have seen the portrait of Edwin Buzz Aldrin on the moon. It's an iconic image and has gone on to become one of the most inspiring images of all time, but what we don't see is the one that came immediately after. Maybe it's an arm, maybe it's a chest or a belly. Either way, it belongs to the taker of the photo, Neil Armstrong. Even the first people on the moon take accidental photos. I mean, it can't be easy in all of that gear. I can't even make a phone call with gloves on. I can't even imagine being in space, trying to snap a selfie while making history. It's nice to see the clean, polished, inspiring part of history, but it's also nice to sometimes remind ourselves that we are all just humans, and humans are silly. In our number 9 spot today, we have the crescent Earth. Less bizarre and more downright artistic and beautiful, truly the only thing that makes this photo bizarre is its lack of popularity, as well as the point of view and how opposite of our own it is. At a first glance, it looks like a photo of the night sky as seen from a sort of piece of space technology, and it looks like the photo captures a sweet crescent moon. While this makes a lot of sense, what we're actually seeing is the Earth as it rises and looms over the Apollo 14 lander. That crescent is Earth. We look like that from the moon. It completely makes sense. It's just something I had failed to think about before. If you were to camp out on the far side of the moon, because the moon and Earth are tidally locked, you wouldn't be able to see Earth. But on the near side of the moon, you'd see the Earth all the time, and through the course of about a month, the Earth would also go through phases just like the moon does, but they'd be the direct opposite of the phases people on Earth would be witnessing the moon going through, if that made any sense at all. I can't believe I had never seen this photo before because it truly is stunning. In our number 8 spot today, we have the moon. This image shows a series of 3 photographs that are just a few of the hundreds taken by the Apollo astronauts. While there are many interesting photos that were taken by those on the Apollo missions, the vast majority of them are just of the moon as seen from their window. Don't get me wrong, seeing photos of the moon up close and personal is magnificent. It's very cool and it's stunning to look at, but once you see it a few dozen times in photos, perhaps the novelty wears off a bit. Of course, the same can't be said for seeing it actually in real life out of the window next to you, though. Until travel to the moon becomes a regular old everyday thing like it's a commute to work, that novelty won't ever wear off, as evidenced by the extremely extensive catalog of close-up moon photos taken by the crew. It honestly is kind of nice to see, though. To me, astronauts seem so cool and serious and intelligent, and while all of those things likely are very true, they're also giddy, excited humans who were clearly thrilled to be where they were. It's just humanizing. That's all I'm saying. In our number 7 spot today, we have the end of the roll. This is a photo that was taken on the Apollo 7 mission, and while it was likely meant to be just a stunning photo, thank goodness it wasn't meant to include or document anything exceptionally important because, well, the photo is greatly obscured by the end of the roll tape. This photo is hilarious. It appears to be of Earth, and it looks like the photo would show this beautiful white swirl spanning across the blue planet, a beautiful piece of photography, if it weren't for the rectangle taking up a third of the image, right smack dab in the middle. These people are astronauts, not photographers, and despite that, they managed to take some exceptional photos while on their missions, so I think it's fair to cut them some slack for this one. It's not like their thumb was in the way or something like that. In our number 6 spot today, we have the selfie. The word selfie hasn't been around for that long, but people have been taking them for years. With adjustable views and forward-facing cameras, it's definitely gotten a lot easier, but that didn't stop Apollo 17's Ron Evans from having his hand at them, while of course in space. This photo shows about half of Ron, although it's tough to tell with him decked out in his spacesuit. Apparently he snapped this photo while he was retrieving exposed film from outside of his spacecraft. I think that means he was in the midst of a spacewalk when he snapped this selfie. That is perhaps the most badass selfie of all time. On the way back to Earth near the end of the mission, Evans did a 1 hour and 6 minute long spacewalk, so it's entirely possible that this is exactly where this photo is from. I mean, that would explain the absolute nothingness that can be seen behind him. In our number 5 spot today, we have number 2. When we hear about space missions, we often hear of the grueling work and preparations, or perhaps the science and mathematics that went into the planning, or maybe we're just there for the cool photos and interesting discoveries. But whatever it is, we normally don't hear about, either from reports or the astronauts themselves, is how on Earth they managed to use the facilities while flying through space and living in zero gravity. Well, thanks to Apollo 17, some of the mysteries surrounding it were unveiled, although this photo didn't exactly go viral. The final, for now, mission to the moon had those on board snapping shots of the plastic bags that were filled with their space pee. Also, note the device used to help collect it that is located at the top of the bag. Yeah, that little thing was actually cited as the reason women couldn't serve in the Apollo space program. You're telling me that NASA could figure out how to send people to the moon, but it was too difficult difficult at the time to figure out the female anatomy and how a woman could pee in space? Okay, it's a little suspicious at best. In our number 4 spot today, we have the Mars eclipse. So this is more of a video rather than one single image. Well, actually, it's a series of 89 different images that, when strung together, act like a video, but a weird coincidence that the distance ratio between the Earth and the Moon versus the Earth and the Sun is almost the same as the size ratio between the Moon and the Sun. This is why, when the Moon passes in front of the Sun for a total eclipse, it covers it completely. On other planets, namely Mars, that's not what happens. When one of the moons of Mars passes in front of the Sun, it's much smaller and it appears like this. Curiosity was able to observe a ton of these instances, which are called transits, from 2 moons, Phobos and Deimos. It's just really strange to see how things that the average person wouldn't have necessarily thought about are so completely different on other planets. Of course, it makes sense and it's perfectly logical. It's just strange to see it right in front of your eyes and really take a second to think about it. In our number 3 spot today, we have the series. This is a series of photographs that were taken on the Apollo 17 mission. The first in the series is another photo that has gone down in history as one of the most iconic. A photo of our beautiful planet as seen from space. I mean, come on.
I'll be back. I'm gonna connect the music and we'll listen to music. Oh, good. Let's go into here. Shit. Well, fuck me. I'll be right back. Connect. Let's go outside now. Go out here. And yeah. Push play. Who'll join?
Instant favorite with instant scratches.
Next. Next. Yeah, brother.
I need a hot bitch. She said she like it when she takes this thing. You know she got it and the eyes rough day. I'm trying to wipe it cause I love this shit. Yeah. I need a hot bitch. She said she like it when she takes this thing. You know she got it and the eyes rough day. I'm trying to wipe it cause I love this shit.
Had that hint, I bitch and baddest bitches right here be the sequel. I need 5 models looking on my dick that's quintessential. Got a Maho Shoujo with the thickest thighs where it's lethal. Feel so good when they be choking me, should really be illegal. Shayla double cheek up on Thursdays on my enemy list. Got horn, they call me only in bed, that's roleplay. Twerk while pat her head, that's foreplay. Who this senpai? I love Opie. Every milk can get a creep. I drink my cup, she yelling comp. I hit that G-spot, call that bullseye. Dodging, getting canceled, feeling like we do a hilla. We be fucking like a hentai every time I'm chilling with her. I'm a deviant and such a very die-hard wearing sister. Shotty freaky, feel like that Kuditra smash when I fist her.
I need a hot bitch. She said she like it when she takes this thing. You know she got it and the eyes rough day. I'm trying to wipe it cause I love this shit. Yeah. I need a hot bitch. She said she like it when she takes this thing. You know she got it and the eyes rough day. I'm trying to wipe it cause I love this shit. Yeah.
Excuse me, little missus, can I give your thighs some kisses? Clothes are ripping, eat her pussy, second breakfast, you can call me Pippin. My waifu is living, do not try to do her, I hope you vivid. Back again, came in a new year, but she's mad in bed. Did it with a holy, don't call the feds. I feel like Epstein, I went and lost my damn head. But she was looking like Belle Delphine when you get all dressed up on the hell of a fiend. I go to Hot Topic to pick up a cock chick, make her take some hot pics of her tit, she's topless. Make TikToks of my dick, of her licking on my tip, always my to-do list, but tonight she's my
hot bitch. She said she like it when she takes this dick. You know she got it and the eyes real big. I'm trying to wipe it cause I love this shit. Yeah. I need a hot bitch. She said she like it when she takes this dick. I'm trying to wipe it cause I love this shit.
Next.
Hey mate, thoughts on Panthers to win 13 plus? Probably not. There's a few injuries this week. Cheers, see ya.
Make it look easy. With Sportsbet's same game multi. More markets and bigger odds. With Sportsbet.
Next. Yeah, buddy. Bow down to the devil. Bow down to the devil. So join. Shy.
So much fun. Now I'm one with the sun. I love the God. Sounds like a job. Sit down. You've got a hole in your line. Hell of a job. Get from the left.
So I got a text from God. God texted me.
He said he just
wanted to talk. I blocked his number.
What the fuck you say? Whether you know what I'm doing. What the fuck you say?
Hey, you better. What the fuck you say? Say please. Hey, what the fuck you say? No forge. Just cool. Next. Next. Next.
Baby.
Should nigga check.
This isn't tomorrow or the distant future. This is today.
Next. 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 Yeah, boy, my show.
Wake up at noon and my mouth's feeling foggy, so I shoot tequila like a morning cup of coffee. I do. I don't wanna.
One of my songs, what I say, what I make.
And my labels on my ass, they won't stop fucking calling. If I turn off my phone, it won't turn off my problems. I know. Put that down in my time to let it go. If I don't hit you by tomorrow, I'll have made my great escape. Yeah, this pill is hard to swallow, but it makes me feel great. So, mama, don't you worry, I'll see you again someday. Or maybe that day
Guys, today.
See, I'd rather feel nothing, that's why I get drunk at least every day's the same day. I'd rather be numb, please don't ask why I put 80 proof in this glass.
know it ain't healthy, I know it ain't hell. Can somebody please save me from myself? Please don't ask when they're sending me off to rehab. I got, if I don't need you in by tomorrow, I'll remain the clay instead. This pill is the one to swallow.
Fuck, what the fuck happened?
Yeah, I'd rather feel no.
There we are.
Yeah, I know it ain't healthy, I know it ain't hell. Can somebody please save me from myself? Please don't ask when they're sending me off to rehab. If I don't need you in by tomorrow, I'll remain the clay.
It's guy. Hello. Again someday. Each day. Each day. Next. 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 Next.
Feel me, Doobie.
Yeah, about that. Next. Which have no joint. Next. Yeah, about that. Next. 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 Next.
Kevin Gay.
Next. Next. Yeah, but my other song, what I sang in these 2 years off camera. I made plenty of songs off camera. It's been 2 years, so of course I made more songs than I met you before.
Girl, look your magic. Yeah, you're my hoe. Girl, look your magic.
Yep.
Yeah, you're my hoe. Girl, look your magic.
Yeah.
Can't believe you're the girl of my dreams. Like everything I said just out the screen. Making the system keep everything clean. Cause your heart's pure and mine is obscene. Need to stop all this stupid shit. I know it's foolish shit. You look so through with this. Girl, you're my moon, my stars are my air. You're everywhere, you're ubiquitous, miss. Under your spell from the moment we kiss. Can't believe someone like you exists. I get so jealous and ball up my fists. When I think of you and someone else grips, I'm too obsessed. Hypnotized by your hips and sundress. Making love on the beach till sunset. If this is a dream in my conscience, just pray don't reset. Yo, can I tell you something weird real quick? Is it weird if my reflex to hearing your voice is the one to have sex? You know, leaving bite marks all down your neck to your chest? You're my hoe. Girl, look your magic. Yeah, you're my hoe. Girl, look your magic. Magic. Shotty so elegant. My being angel, she heaven sent. She keep it real, no embellishment. She got me all in my element. Avatar sentiments gonna fly to different continents. Don't need no luggage, just me and my babe. She getting senpai acknowledgement. All night in the bed, again today. Okay, let me start like a real nigga. Pre-lay, let me talk to you. Now I see nothing, stay strong, girl, you have a caliber that I've never seen before, no challenger can step up and try to match you. Got my mind running back to attitude. That's you, laying in the nude. If a nigga jockey killing that dude, girl, I'm not rude or yandere, but put it simply, you're looking fine to me that. If you were a succubus riding me, I would let you lose your soul in the ecstasy. Fact of the matter is that your complexity is so intriguing. Can't believe all the love I'm receiving and reciprocating. Let's tie the knot. No time for waiting, not being patient. Nevermore, not satisfied till I leave you sore. Yeah, the sex is good, but there's much more you give to me, and I'm grateful for it. Don't give a fuck if I can't afford all the glitz and glam Honda Accords. Your heart is mine, and mine is yours. My life.
You joined it.
Next. Next. Next.
Took a pill and he
Next.
She says I'm crazy, but
Next. Next.
he took the
Yeah, man.